Well, hello again. Another little video. This one is on the new Bachmann Class 20/3 which I've had, which is HNrail. But first of all, I've got one or two other things. As I've shown you before, I think it's in the last video, is I make my own station announcements now. So what I've actually done with mine is I've actually added the text, so I know which one does what. I've got that one to do yet. But what like these here is, if I actually go to Euston now, like that one. The train now standing on platform 1 is for London Euston, calling at Stafford, Wolverhampton, Milton Keynes and Watford. So I've got all these I've just done recently, just added them up. But one thing is I've had a problem on my layout for 5 years. I'm thinking, what's going on here? What it actually is my little GWR pannier there and the Schenker there. That's a program, you've seen the program before, where that one comes out and that comes out and they swap over and everything else. But that one causes sound and that isn't. So I thought, I know what I'll do. My little crimson, which is there, I'll swap it for that. So put it on, it goes round, when it goes back it comes off, and it comes off there on that set of points. And I have 2 or 3 trains that has done it, and every time the train comes back that way it comes off the rails. I've even tried it with the Class 31. What happened with the Class 31, this is how it really come to light, is the train would come round, get to there, and would still keep trying to go, but was going nowhere. So what's going on here? What it actually is, I've said this before, what I've got on my layout, I've got different points. Right, and I'll show you this example. What we have here is a Hornby motor and a Pico one. Right, so if what the thing is, these have to be slammed straight up to those sleepers there. These have these little bars that stand them away from the track. Now, as you'll see with this loco, it's got quite a long undercarriage there. Now if I actually got that like that, if I bring this across here now, as it comes out here, see how it curves like that? It misses the point motor. The thing is, sometimes you can't put a motor in a certain place. I've got one over on my crossover, because there's another set of points close to it. I can't actually put another motor on the other side. So if I chain that off there now, we get this one, grab all of it, right, I'll just put it here for now, and it goes like this, like this, that's it, like that, something like that. Right, now then, because it's in that position, is if I do this now, you'll know, oh, a minute, the points have gone the wrong way, right. If I do this now, look, there, look, it comes right over the point motor. But also remember, you've got screws there holding it down. And what it actually does, it hits the undercarriage and knocks the loco off. On that side, it's okay. So what I've got to do now, and in fact, I'll show you this, is if you see this here, it's got pieces there that are hanging and pieces there that are hanging. And those are the type of things, also these type of steps, they will actually hit those point motors like that and knock them off. If you notice that one there, with those steps hanging, that just about clears that up there. That point motor there has got to be replaced, and basically that one up there has got to be replaced. I've got 1 or 2 more up there as well. But they've been there 5 years, but because this part of the system has always been sitting there, I've never noticed it. It's only till recently, this last week, that this has happened when I wanted to change the train round. It'd be the same if you actually see those wagons with those steps hanging there. Those will most probably hit it. I've got another one here, look, which is very close. This has got to get swapped. See how close they are? So where the Pico ones will be a lot better. So that's another little problem I've got to solve and sort out. Right, I'll just put that there for a minute. I was watching one of Charlie from HNrail layouts the other day, and one thing that impressed me was this, which is a soldering station. It comes with different tips. You've got this bracket in which you put the solder. This all comes complete, of course. You've got this bit here which is for cleaning your soldering tips. But the main part of it is this. What you've got here is a dial, and that's your temperature. So you dial it up to what you want. I actually the other day, I haven't used this totally yet, but I dialed it up the other day to 300, and then here is a locking, so you can lock it at 300 as you want to. That took from cold, as it is now, to 300 in 20 seconds. Normally, I've had this before with a lot of my soldering irons. You put them on, then leave them half an hour before you get them warm up. Well, this takes 20 seconds to get to 300. Also, is what happens with this also is that you can actually turn the dial down, say, to 200, because that's what's going to save the soldering tip. And what happens is, because it sits in this cradle like that, after 10 minutes this will turn off and go to sleep. Then all you've got to do is get hold of the soldering iron, a couple of shakes, and it goes back and it go up to temperature again, which is brilliant. It's up from Amazon and it's £42. You can't go wrong with something like that. So that's one of my latest little things I've had. Now then, one of the other things I've had, of course, is the HNrail class 20 there. So what I'll do, is I'll actually just bring it round as it is. Before I start it up. Right. So this is the loco. They've got them in DRS. I've got a DRS class 68, but this one is just a colour that did it more than anything else. And it comes with a pack of bits and pieces, ploughs and stuff like that. Blanky plates in there. This one actually is the sound one, right? Now then, also I bought this from, I was up with Steve from the Hobby Goblin, where I go to regular. More regular now because the restrictions have been lifted a bit on the lockdowns. And I spent a couple of hours the other day in there. And also while I was in there, Alan, who I've told you before about these Al Sound speakers that he makes, and also he does drivers for all these trains. He came in, and what I've actually bought at the same time is this one, which is a Bachmann class 24 one to fit into that instead of that one that's already in it. It's a little project for me, but it's, you say these little speakers, if I just do this, you see how big they are by my thumb. And let's say the City there's got one in, and the Princess has got one in. They really are brilliant speakers. So say Steve at the Hobby Goblin, he's got these in stock already, but you can get them from West Hill Wagon Works as well. They actually, Alan makes the little drivers for all these trains, for Class 24s, for Class 66s. He does all sorts of drivers. They're about £8, that's all they are. Fully painted, you don't have to paint them, they're already done. And he says he's going to drop one off at Steve's for me to fit into this one here. Right, so what we'll do is we'll shift it up here a little bit, and what I'll do is I'll take this bridge out of the way. It does always get in the way. Right, this has got 28 functions in it, this one has. So what we'll do is, bring this a bit closer. First of all, we'll put the lights on. Now, one thing is you've got here, if I actually just increase this on the system, what you've got here is you've got day and night. So that's one of the things it's got. Where is it? Let's try and find it. Oh, we are. So if I do this, it swaps over. Just go back a bit so you can actually see this. If I just click that on there, see it swap over to day and night. So that's one thing it's got in it. It's got detonators, it's got all sorts of, and say if you actually look on here, there are 28 functions in there, and that's what they are on the system. Some work with other parts of it, such as like the cold start. One thing that this does, as like in that one there I've got, but this one here, if I turn the cab lights on, which is there, you can see them turned on there, when the train moves, the lights go out. But to say it's a beautiful train, this is. So if I actually now turn, what I can do is I'll actually put the nose lights on, and then I've got the rear on, so I can turn the rear lights off. No, they're off. On again. And does with the nose as well. So if I now turn the sound on, it sounds nice enough as it is without changing that speaker. So I might do it, I might not. But I've got it for another one if needed. But the detail on this loco is absolutely beautiful. So what I'm going to do now is I will I've got some work to do on, because one of the things is, as you know, I use voice. Now, if I put all the 6 functions in, which is, you know, what we normally do, I can't say sound on, sound off. But if I take a couple of them off, then it works. So basically the ones I want I can use, but I can still go back to the screen and do it this other way. So you can see the cab light comes on when it stops. if I just do a little bit of a cruise just to start it off again. Yeah, it's gone off again. Stop it. There's the cab light on again. So it's a lovely train. Another one, that's is now 72 I've got now. I have taken one or two trains off the system all round the back, because this is when I was testing all round the back. So I've taken one or two, all these that were sitting in the sidings here, taken all them. At the moment I'm running at that. That's 0.77 amps. Now if I actually click this one on now, we'll just give it a little run. Shows you what it's picking up. It goes up to 0.85, 8385. So what I'm going to do now is just turn that off for now. That's gone to sleep now for a while. So, and of course this is the Class 60 DB Schenker, which I had from Hornby, which for the work I do for them for Railmaster, and I had those 3 wagons as well. So that is some of the stuff I've been doing. I've been busy doing people's tracks and layouts. I had to revamp a complete layout for a bloke. And also, recently, I've now got 2 particular people. Both of them have got the same thing. They've got some of these, or a couple of these. Let me just bring them up. Them DR4018s. Now, in Railmaster, you can do that, and you've got that. That'll do 8 sets of points. No problem. But there's all sorts of tricks you can do with this thing. You can have signals, you can have points, you can do all sorts. But one of the things you've got to do with it, you've got to change CV47. In the normal 0 mode, preset mode, it is all 8 points. If you change 47 to 1, what happens then is you'll actually have 16 switches there, so you can actually have 16 sets of lights on, and this is what he wants it for, is for operating as accessory lighting, such as, you know, I've got all mine lighting around here. So it basically is, with mine of course, I can actually turn mine on and off via my screen, because this is the way I built it, because I've got a relay that operates the lighting. So if I actually do this now, I have to do this and show you. You know, there's all my main lighting goes out. Put it back on again. Now the yard lighting, which is this lot here, they are controlled from that set of points. So if I actually do this now and click the points, they go out, because that track is going round the back. This track here goes into the sidings, so that is how it's actually switched. I just do this again, and you see all the street lighting come on in the yard. So this is some things that I can do anytime. But one of the things is that's one particular problem. Well, I've got it twice now, and one of the gentlemen is actually going to send me one of them units. Because one of the things you have to remember is I do not have a lot of this stuff, what people want me to sort out. A lot of cases I can do it by investigating through Google and God knows what. But in some cases I haven't got a clue. Oh, well, not have a clue. It's that without actually seeing the physical thing and working with it, I can't do it. So one of these gentlemen is going to send me one of these DR4018s so I can actually get it, because one of the things is you've got to do is to change CV47. Now, the only way I can think of at the moment, the normal way we change CVs in here is one thing, but what I'd have to do is change it through my Elite, because I can control it. It's like having your Gauge Master units. So until that unit comes, I can't do any more. But what I'll do is, once I've got it and I can work it out, or get it Railmaster itself to work it, I will then do a video for you on it. Now, another one is a gentleman, he's bought one of these HM6000s, which is a DC operation unit. But what he wanted to do is to operate that unit to do, again, his street lighting and stuff like that. So this particular gentleman, he's got apparently two of these things. He's going to, because they're only cheap, he's going to send me one, and I will then play with that and see what I can do with that. So that'll be another little video for the future anyway. But as I said, I do these problems for everybody. Now, one thing is, as I've told you before, is TeamViewer. With TeamViewer, it's a way I can actually link to your computer and solve your problem. I had a gentleman the other day, he had trouble with an E-Link, he blew it up, but he bought a second-hand Elite. We went online, he said, it's just come. I said, it's on there, connected, yes, right, okay. Went online to him, 10 minutes, it's working. That's how long it takes me. I've done everything there is in this system, I know every part of it. I know how things work in it, especially in the INI file. So I can actually solve your problems in minutes. I've had them where they've been 3 weeks already through the window. But I can solve your problems by TeamViewer. People send me emails of they've got a problem. Now, some things are quite easy, but other ways, what I have to do, I have to take photographs of sections in this thing of how to do it, but I can't see what the buttons they're pressing. So TeamViewer is the way to, I do it all over the world. I've done this for 8 years and never had a problem with it. It's secure proof, right? Because once you turn it off, the password changes. So I can't get in, nobody else can get in. So it is safe. So say I've got them in New Zealand, I've got them in Australia, I've got them in Dubai, I've got them in Sri Lanka, in Ireland, Scotland, I've got them everywhere. The thing is, sometimes it's, oh, I've got a train, it's not working properly. Right, go on, so I can actually do it. And I've set up trains that way around, and it takes me minutes to do a lot of this stuff. So it saves you a lot of heartache and a lot of problems, but I can do them in minutes, in a lot of cases. So also is that you could actually send me, like this, your track plan. So say this is, shift this out of the way a minute. If I do this, I've got somewhere where they've been 40 foot by 30 foot layouts. So if I go down to 50% like this, because I've got a bigger screen downstairs, but that's my layout in total. This lot here is all this lot here, which is my sidings here, which I can operate via these numbers to go into the sidings that I want. But all they have got to do is you can actually send me this track plan. I will then put you all the signalling in to correspond with that. Now the thing is to operate the signals with the points, you've got to have Pro. You can't do it any other way. So if you've got the Pro, and just send me that, I've done them in a couple of hours, send it you back, and it's all working. You've got to do nothing, I can do it all for you. I don't charge for it, so it's free. So from that, what I'll do now is, if you want me at any time, I'm on 01782 302194. My email address is there, and please subscribe. I've got, I think it's 13 more to do before I get to 1,000 tubes. I think it's 987. I think I'm up to now, and I need to get to the marker. So please subscribe to get my numbers up there, and what I'll do is actually start up these two particular trains, which is those two there. So I'll leave you these two trains, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye.